Welcome to Sawyers Film School. I mean, welcome back to, depending on your loyalty to this show.
Correct. Good job, sir. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm also.
Thanks,
Aiden.
You're welcome.
This is our second episode that was filmed roughly 5 months after the first episode. We treated
If you can't tell.
Hey, at least we're consistent in our uploading schedules with the podcast and with this.
Hey, we're gonna upload it.
Yeah, they're being uploaded at the same time.
It's just the recording of it.
They're very.
We treated it like a pilot of a TV show where we shot it and then waited for
multiple months.
Multiple months for me to edit it, and then I was like, I don't feel like editing it.
Multiple months? You mean multiple months? You tried to edit it one day, and then you're like,
no, I tried to edit it like multiple days, but then I couldn't line it up properly, so I was like, whatever. And then Aiden was like, let me do it, and then I finally let him do it, and then
I did it.
He did it, and so we're back with another episode. Today we're talking about Modern Times.
Charlie Chaplin.
Written and directed by Charlie Chaplin. It also stars Charlie Chaplin along with Paulette Goddard and others. I've only wanted to highlight her because she's like the main character. Anyways, what were our thoughts? What did you guys think?
I don't think I've ever seen a silent character be more
loud,
like just menacing and just just his sheer evil.
I will say I kind of will take what Aiden said. I've never seen a quiet character be so loud.
Yeah.
Which just really, like, we're all theater kids here. And so we all know about how big actions are very important. And so seeing Charlie Chaplin do that, because he doesn't speak and can't speak.
Except for when he sings, which is awesome.
Yeah, which is awesome. I did not expect that.
That was really impressive.
Oh, spoilers ahead.
Well, this movie came out almost a full century ago. We're going to get into some spoiler territory here.
I really liked it, and I just liked seeing him move around like a crate, like the menace he is.
Yeah. I think it's really fun. I also think that it's really crazy how much of it is still, like, both funny today, like, it still holds up, and how much of it is, like, did he see the future for actual modern times? Like, it may be something that's happening back then, but I mean, there's still parts of it that I'm like...
History repeats itself.
I'm definitely, like, I'm a guy who really likes slapstick. Like, when I was a kid, and even now, I love the Three Stooges. Because it's just, so I find it hilarious them just slapping each other all the time.
Physical comedy is the best kind of comedy.
Physical comedy is the best comedy. But some people are, like, trying to villainize it, being like, oh no, it's horrible. It's so, like, there's nothing funny about it. And it's like, what's not funny about a couple of friends slapping each other and then kicking each other while still having fun? I think that is comedy gold. I think that's comedy gold.
I don't think what that was just comedy gold. That was
that's for me.
That was like comedy dirt.
Yep.
Okay, so what was the story?
Yes.
I have no idea.
The story was
hijinks. It was a bunch of hijinks. And then Charlie Chaplin falls in love, and then more hijinks, and then
falls in love in 1 minute.
Okay, if you guys would like, I've got some notes from throughout the film. Okay, so the first part of it is like something that every person has seen. Like this year alone, in 2 different classes, I watched the same clip, like the opening part. I've seen it twice.
Huh.
This year, I've seen it before then. But my first note came when Charlie Chaplin goes to the bathroom for a break. So, was that an invasion of privacy with the 100%. Bathroom camera?
100%.
Like, what was going on there?
I don't know, and it worries me.
My second note was this is some Amazon shit. Like, Jeff Bezos would be pulling that feeding machine to keep his workers...
Yeah, that line. Is... I actually thought that when there's like the big screen in the bathroom, that's like the entire wall pretty much, and the guy just shows up there. I'm like, oh my god, he was so right.
My next note was electric toothbrush for the corn.
Oh yeah.
There's a machine that is supposed to help workers eat, but it goes haywire, and it just goes super duper fast.
The design is very human.
It's a very human design.
Dude, I'm just saying, if you actually did that in real life, if you had like a filling or something, that thing would fly out of your mouth.
I was
I
surprised.
think
that he
all
still,
of your teeth might fly
Yeah.
out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Especially
It was
how
getting
fast
into,
it started to go.
body
I'm surprised he didn't get his mustache shaved, honestly.
True.
I would have loved to have seen that.
Then I put shout out to the shirtless guy that's just sort of working. That's just working there.
Like that's like the opening scene. Like that. I'm pretty. Isn't that what it opens on? And it's him taking his clothes off.
Yeah, it's just some like 30s looking guy who has no shirt on for some strange freaking reason.
Like, and all he does is like push buttons and switch
Pull
levers.
All right, let's take it back for one. Let's try again.
Welcome.
Yeah, so I don't think he needs to have his shirt off, but he does the whole time.
It adds character.
It really does.
And like in multiple scenes too, because they go back to him eventually, and he still has his shirt off.
I like to think that when they all went on strike, he was outside with no shirt on. He's like, "Wait, can I get my shirt back?" They're like, "No, we're going on strike."
You're not allowed back in the factory. So my shirt's inside.
My next note was menace. When Charlie Chaplin's character has like a full-on nervous breakdown, he just goes crazy. He full-on just becomes a psychopath.
He just goes around trying to.
way I can explain it.
He just goes around trying to tighten everything. It's so weird.
Everything.
That's so weird. And then I said he looks like a mischievous child when they're in the lever room. Every time he's like trying to like pull the levers as the shirtless guy is trying to fix the levers. It's like something a child would do.
That's probably something I've done.
Then after that, when he's like cured, we see what he just always dresses in, and it's just immaculate drip, dude. The bowler hat, the overcoat, the cane.
That's very true.
Where did the canes go? We need to bring back canes. What do you think?
My grandpa had one.
Canes, capes, and kilts.
Yeah.
Canes.
hats.
Cane.
If there's one thing that
We just paused, Macklin. We're gonna
What
continue
happened?
now.
Canes, capes, and kilts.
2025. We can't start this year because we're too far.
too far. And I think that we should bring back cool hats. That's what I've learned from this series so far.
So true.
Is that
Everybody's
silly
had a
little
cool
hats need to come back. You can quote me on that.
I will.
Then I wrote down, please, always bad? Question mark. Not to be political, but
What do you mean? They just arrested a guy who had a nervous breakdown.
no, they were doing more than just arresting. They were like beating everybody. They were like,
Yeah, like
and they do that multiple
looked at them
times.
and they're like, man.
They do that multiple times throughout the film.
Someone looked at them and they're like, "Meh."
It was the time.
Yeah. Meh, see?
Then they describe as the love interest's dad as, quote, one of the unemployed.
I love how like literally one character has a name and it's the girl, but I don't remember her name.
She doesn't have a name. No, I don't know. I don't think she has a name.
Huh.
And if she has a name, it's something like a grimace or something. It's not a grimace.
A grimace shake.
There is one character with a name that I'll get to in a minute. Then when he goes to jail, he just gets high on cocaine.
A lot of cocaine. I'm
does
really
a-
surprised he didn't die.
Yeah, there was a lot of cocaine.
eating
Here's my idea, guys. All right,
eating it.
modern times Charlie Chaplin versus Cocaine Bear. Who wins?
Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah, I agree.
Dude, him, cocaine, and 2 wrenches, it's over for the mayor. I'm just saying.
Him, cocaine, and a slab of bread.
What I noticed is that that part of it, and most of it felt like an episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Just like he's like not a very good person, I would say, but he's just sort of doing stuff. Like he did a little bit of cocaine, then he saved the day.
As someone
The
who's
powers of drugs, kids.
As someone who has never seen It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, I 100% agree. So
There's an episode where two of the characters get addicted to crack.
I've seen that one, and it's hilarious.
It's a very funny show.
They don't get
Shout
superpowers
out.
though, which is a bummer.
Well, yeah,
I'm just saying, Charlie Chaplin pretty much got superpowers.
Yeah, that's true.
the superpower of spinning while walking.
The superpower of like having a spider sense and dodging bullets.
No, I think the person that was shooting was just shitty at shooting bullets. Just sucked. Then I wrote when the father...
Charlie Chaplin plays dodgeball, definitely.
Just like us.
Just like
you
us.
could dodge a bullet, you could dodge a ball.
If you can dodge a Charlie Chaplin, you can dodge a ball.
Shit.
Guys, I think we might need to quit dodgeball.
Then when the love interest dad dies, I wrote down, "There's been a moida."
There's been a moido. Dun dun dun.
Doom, 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 doom.
No.
Doom.
Then when the Charlie Chaplin and his the love interest, they have their meet cute. I wrote down, "Great couple, both broke and homeless, perfect for each other."
I mean, like
I like how that's pretty much all that was needed to start their relationship, was that they were both broke and homeless. And like, hey.
They say opposites attract, but honestly, when you have something in common with someone, it's a lot easier to talk with them.
That's true.
And they did talk about being broke and homeless.
It's true.
And then they talked about not being broke and homeless.
Yeah, they were moving very quickly to getting a home together.
Yeah. And they had a cow together too.
They did. They did fantasize about having a cow that just sort of.
I think it was just Charlie Chaplin who was fantasizing about the cow.
Yeah.
That's true.
And having like fruit hanging all around his house.
And I also wrote down about that he says, and I quote, "We'll get a home even if I have to work for it."
Isn't that what she said?
No, he says that.
Oh, he said it?
I think.
Because he's
useless. Maybe she said
it. No, he said it.
Yeah,
because I remember being like, "Oh, dude, same."
He's like, "I'm not gonna work for it, but I will if it means." It's like, okay.
If I have to die from work, I will get this house.
And speaking, I was going back to the character that I said has a name, Big Bill.
The one named character in the movie.
One character who has a name that you can remember is Big Bill, and his real life name is Tiny. It's his nickname. His real name is like Samuel something, but I just looked up his name and it just said Tiny, and I thought that was hilarious.
I love that for you.
The mechanic, when Charlie Chaplin gets a job back at the factory,
Dude,
he looks like a cartoon. He looks like a cartoon character. He looks like a cartoon character come to life.
Dude, that whole sequence with the engineer and Charlie Chaplin is just like straight out of a cartoon.
The whole movie is just a cartoon, Macklin.
Yeah.
But he looks like a cartoon character.
I was
like the mustache.
I was pretty certain. I was like, "Oh, Charlie Chaplin's about to commit war crimes," because I was like, he's just gonna straight up execute this guy.
That's not a war crime. That's just murder.
He's gonna straight up execute this guy and commit murder.
Then I wrote down I think that this factory is some sort of like safety hazard, because one, the tools get ground up like immediately, like go down into the gears, and they just sort of like fly everywhere, and then the dude like is able to fall into the gears and just hang out in there.
Hang around.
Like, what?
Hey, it was the 30s. What can you say?
This movie was single-handedly started the safety precautions movement.
I wouldn't doubt it, because there was some crazy safety violations in this.
Honest with you, I've been in a lot of factories. Haven't seen a lot of just big gears moving around recently.
It's a good point. Very good point.
Well, maybe you haven't been in enough factories.
You've never been in enough factories.
That's not what I said.
The mechanic brought an entire chicken for lunch.
Yeah.
Like, basically like a rotisserie chicken. He brought that.
I mean, to be honest, I'm pretty sure I would or have done that.
Dude, I would get a Costco chicken and bring that for lunch sometime. Also, he had like a quarter of a pie, too.
Yeah. Everybody in this has like a Scooby and Shaggy level appetite.
Maybe that's where I would have switched, because I would have had the whole pie and a quarter of a chicken.
I really liked when when the girl comes with Charlie Chaplin and she's like, "I found us a house," and it's like a completely destroyed shed, and then she's making food for them, and it's like sandwiches, and he tries to take a bite because the sandwich is like this thick.
Like I don't know why she has to cut the bread so
The bread's
thick.
like this
It's
thick.
like at least an inch thick.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Oh no, wait, it's two sandwiches." And like, okay, and instead of it being this thick, it's like that thick instead, and it's just bread and meat.
We'll be right back after these messages. Does your life feel empty, sad, and terrible? Well, worry no longer, for the Wizards 3 podcast has you covered. Look at their Instagram and or Twitter at the Wizards 3 podcast to find release dates and memes. Oh my goodness. But wait, there's more. There's also an entire other series you can find only on Spotify. Enjoy.
Okay, I think that the next thing that we should talk about is just to keep going with the plot. The next thing is that they both get jobs at a place where the waiters and the waitresses they sing
And dance.
They sing and dance. And Charlie Chaplin sings? Is it really him?
I think
it might be.
So.
I like to believe the best.
I like to make myself believe.
I think it's him, and honestly, like, he's a much better singer than he was a waiter. I'll tell you that much. Because he was a really bad waiter. Hi, viewers / listeners. You're looking at me right now. If Aiden edited this, because they're searching something up. Aiden, I have a request. Could you please put a nice little top hat on my head, and then
It is.
Thank you, Aiden.
I'm the god of this universe.
Aiden, just so you know, I want every single time there's a shot with me, I want to have a different hat on. Thank you.
Yes, it's actually his voice, and he actually can sing.
That's he did really good then.
And also speak French, apparently.
I also think that this is a comment about the whole movie. People, we as a society need to start moving like Charlie Chaplin does in this movie.
He walks like a toddler with poop in his pants.
He looks like he's
awesome.
got. It looks like he's got the worst rash ever.
Here, let me do an impression of how he walks.
His knees are really out, which is really weird.
Yeah, I think
And
that's
his elbows,
the best way that anybody has ever walked, ever.
Dude, every now and then,
Congratulations.
I literally am just walking in the hallway, and all of a sudden I'll start walking like that. And I'm just like, why did I do that? And there's people around me too, and they're looking at me, and they're like, what?
That's so cool, Macklin. That's such a relatable thing that we all do.
Hey.
All three of us.
Yeah, I know. And I know it's not relatable. I just like doing it sometimes.
Guys, what was your thought? What were your thoughts on the way that the film used sound?
Very creative.
Very sparingly.
A comment that you made after we'd finished watching it was that it was just like a live action cartoon, which I was like, oh my god, it literally was. Because like looking back at like the sounds and like just the way that they move and like even sometimes just like the sounds that are made, like the words that they speak. Like sometimes they say words, you know? Yes, I know, thank you.
The words and the sounds, and sometimes the words, and they sound like words, and the sounds are word.
It felt very cartoonish.
Yeah.
I will say I did like how it's like Charlie Chaplin singing was perfect, like synced beautifully, but then every other time someone is actually talking, it's like, hello, I would like to talk to you about something.
I like
Did that look as good as it felt?
No.
Okay.
no.
What if I told
It
you
looked
really
better.
If I told you it felt really bad.
I'm better.
Yeah. Those were my notes. Thank you everybody for putting up with my beautiful note-taking skills. Yeah, we're back.
We're back to the stage of the episode.
Yeah. I'm going to keep umming and awing. Do you guys have anything else to say, or should I wrap it up with a little big piece of trivia?
I did, yeah.
I did. Yeah.
I appreciate the fact, Aiden, that you are taking over my role as the stroke victim on this podcast.
Well, it started
series.
last episode,
It's true,
apparently.
yeah.
Jeez. Can't
It's
take you guys
just this
anywhere,
episode.
especially not YouTube.
Laugh track, please.
I'll do the laugh track. Okay.
No.
Especially not YouTube. Thanks, Aiden.
He just does what I say.
This was intended to be Charlie Chaplin's first talkie. He even went as far as writing a dialogue script and experimenting with sound, which, I mean, you can see throughout the movie. However, because Charlie Chaplin intended the film to feature the character, like, what that was called his little tramp, which is like the mischievous little guy. I don't know how else to describe it. He plays it in most of his movies.
He's just a little guy. Charlie Chaplin is short, dude.
He is so small.
Yeah. The sound seemed inappropriate. Consequently, the film was made using silent techniques, which means that it was shot at 18 frames per second and then projected at 24 frames per second, which gave the slapstick sequences a more phonetic feeling. Which is why when it goes into the sequences of slapstick, it's like, why is he moving so fast?
It was really funny watching the engine, like the mechanic, fall into the gears, and like everything was moving at a pretty slow pace, and then it's just like woo, and it's just moving so fast as he's just falling in there. I've had a good laugh at that one, and I know you guys love that for me.
I love that for you.
I completely just zoned out, but I heard what you said, and I agree.
Do you guys have any sort of final thoughts on Modern Times?
No.
No,
Apparently not.
I liked it. If you like slapstick and enjoy the Three Stooges, I think you'd like this.
It is a brisk 87 minutes. So
It felt longer.
It does feel long, but I have a feeling that if we watched it again, it would feel like it went
Definitely.
way short. It was way shorter. I think I have a feeling that I'll watch more Charlie Chaplin just because I love the way that
It was really cool.
it was very interesting, and I'm glad that we watched it on here. So I think that's it for this episode. Thank you to Nasa, as always, for producing. Thank you to Aiden for editing. Thank you for Macklin. Thank you to Macklin for just being here.
Here for a good time, not a long time.
Taking a break from editing the podcast,
To be here.
doing the everything for our podcast. So yeah, for Sawyers Film School, I'm Sawyer,
I'm Aiden.
I'm Macklin.
and we will see you guys next time. Let's go.
Woo!